Hi everyone, welcome to Feline Jungle. In today's video, we're going to go through the philodendrons in my collection. Philodendrons are easily my most favorite type of plants just because they're so easy to take care of and they come in all shapes and sizes. In this video, we're going to go through my philodendrons and hopefully persuade you to add some into your collection. I started getting to philodendrons because they're all really unique and different from each other. Right here is my variegated BURLE MARX, which has this variegation to it, which is different from my Philodendron gloriosum, which has the velvety leaves, and also my golden dragon, which has this crazy leaf structure. They also have variegations from the pink princess, which has pink splashes, to like the green paradise, which has like splotchy green patterns on it. So yeah, they're just all very different. If you're just getting into philodendrons, I recommend the Prince of Orange, which is a very easy philodendron to take care of. You just have to water it once a week and it'll give you orange leaves that turn green. How cool is that? I have 4 different types of philodendrons. I have the runner, the bushy grower, the vining type, and the climbing type. Right here, my Philodendron gloriosum is the running type that grows horizontally. This is my Philodendron hestatum, they call it. This is a climber type. As you can see, it's growing vertically. And then this is my Philodendron BRIKIN. This is the bushy grower. It grows in a bushy form. And then the last type is the trailing type. My Philodendron MICANS, which is trailing down right now. And they're all very different, but they're all philodendrons. I would say I have more than 25 philodendrons, and I actually have repeats. As you can see here, I have a lot of Florida ghost type plants. That's because I love them so much, and then I'm also trying to do an experiment to encourage more of that creamy white leaf. That's also why I have a grow light. I have philodendrons in different corners of my house just to see how they will react to the different lighting conditions. My care routine is really simple. All I do is water them once a week, all of them at the same time, and give it different types of lighting condition, and they just all do well. The most important thing I would say is to give it really well draining soil, just so that the roots can breathe and there won't be any chances of root rot. It's especially important for the stem to be above ground for runner plants because this will prevent root rot. For climbing philodendrons, it's especially important to give it a moss pole for it to climb on. From my experience, this promotes bigger leaves. So I have a lot of favorites, but right now it has to be my Philodendron gloriosum, just because it's giving me this huge leaf that I'm so excited about. I've seen it like go from a little tiny bud, and it took a month to get to this stage. I can't wait for the leaf to unfurl. I think it's gonna be huge. So this is my most favorite one right now. I think the happiest philodendron would have to be my Philodendron BRIKIN. When I first bought it, it wasn't that happy. The leaves didn't have the variegation that you usually see with BRIKINs. And then recently I put it above higher to the grow light, and it's been giving me these crazy variegations. And not only that, it's been giving me a lot of new leaves. I would say 2 leaves per month, and it's winter right now, so I can tell that he's really happy. The saddest plant I have right now is in my ICU unit. It's my Philodendron FIBROSUM. I got it as a cutting from a friend. When she gave it to me, it was just a wet stick, and it stayed like that for 2 months. It hasn't really done anything, but it hasn't died either, so yeah. I would say the easiest philodendron to take care of is my Prince of Orange. My Prince of Orange is the bushy type, and it grows from the center. The leaves come out this really nice orange color, and then it turns into a green. So it's a very exciting philodendron that's easy for any beginner who wants to get into philodendrons. I would say the hardest one to take care of is my pink princess, just because it's so dramatic. I actually chopped up my pink princess into different cuttings. I have a video about how I'm trying to encourage more pink in my pink princess. I would say it's the hardest to take care of just because it doesn't provide me the exciting pink color. It has some on the bottom leaves, and also when it comes out, it always breaks off. Like this one's not a good example. Let me give you another one. This is the other pink princess I have, and it's just the hardest because when it comes out, it always rips like this. I think it's the lack of humidity, or just it always gets stuck. So I would say this is my hardest and most dramatic plant. I would say the philodendron that grows the fastest for me is my philodendron MICANs. My philodendron has these velvet-like leaves. It's really nice to touch, and it just grows up. As you can see, it's trying to reach the grow light, and it just keeps growing. I actually cut it back already. At one point it was like 5 feet long, and I cut it back just so I could encourage more growth and for the leaves to get bigger, because the leaves on the bottom were really tiny. And it's working so far. The leaves are getting bigger and it's growing so much faster. My most unique philodendron is this red queen. From the front, it looks very basic, but the unique part is the back side of the philodendron, where it has a red back. And the more light you give it, the more red it will be, which is why I have it growing on the top of my shelf. This is the newest leaf. And I haven't seen this in other people's collection before. I imported this from Indonesia, and that's why it's my most unique philodendron. The smallest, I would say my silver sword philodendron that I have in the back here. During the winter, I kind of just went into shock and dropped all its leaf. In the summer, I had these beautiful leaves. Maybe I can insert that photo. But right now, it has these small baby leaves that recently grew in the last couple of months, I would say. And this one's just so tiny. My biggest philodendron is in this corner right here. I have it growing under a grow light. I bought it as a Philodendron Florida Ghost, and it's just huge. I should do a head size to show you how big it is. It's huge. Each leaf is bigger than my face. My most expensive philodendron is also actually in this corner. It's the Philodendron Florida Beauty. It has the same leaf structure as the beast that I have right next to it right here. The only difference is that it has this variegation. And I actually got it for a steal. I got it for about $300 on Instagram. And that's already half the price that it's being sold at right now. So even though it's my most expensive plant, it's also the best deal that I got, I would say. And each leaf is just so different, and that's why I love it so much. This one's the newest one. It still has that really glossy sheen to it, and when it hardens, it's gonna be a little bit bigger than this. The cheapest philodendron I have is the Philodendron Brazil that I just repotted. I got this for $8. It's a trailing type of philodendron, and I don't know why I didn't get this sooner, because it's so cool. It has this variegation that is different on each leaf, and it's a super fast grower. People usually confuse trailing philodendrons with pothos. I would say the easiest way to tell a philodendron from a pothos is the way it grows. So it has like this little film that the new leaf comes out of, and pothos don't have that. You would see this on a lot of philodendrons, and this is just the way it grows. I would say the weirdest philodendron I have is this one I have right here. It's called the ATABAPOENSE, and it just has this really weird leaf shape that's not very commonly seen. It has really big leaves as well. The back has that burgundy color, similar to the Red Queen, but just a little bit darker. And yeah, I would say it's the weirdest one. This wasn't doing anything for me in the kitchen area. I think the humidity wasn't high enough. So I recently put it on the top shelf of this plant wall next to my humidifier, and it just kick-started a lot of new growth. This is the newest leaf. It's a lot tinier just because I think it's winter in New York and it's not used to that. But since then, it's given me this new leaf that's popping out right now, and it already looks like it's gonna be a lot bigger than this one. So it's the weirdest and also my coolest, I would say. Weird in a cool way. Coolest name, oh my god, there's a couple of them. There's the golden dragon. Like, that's such an epic name, golden dragon. And I feel like it fits that name. It has this really cool leaf shape that reminds me of a dragon's head. I'm hoping the more light you give it, the more variegation it'll have, and it'll have that golden effect because it has this really yellow, lime, green variegation. So hopefully it'll live up to that golden part, but it has a really epic name. Another philodendron that has an epic name is the Dark Lord. So this one's my Dark Lord. And it's called the Dark Lord because the leaves are dark. I don't know. And it has like this really dark green, very dark green color. It kind of reminds me of a reverted pink princess actually. And recently it's given me this new growth point right here. I grow all of my philodendrons in soil except for one, which is growing in leca, which is this Philodendron glorious that I got from my friend Sophie. She was growing it in leca, which is why I decided to keep it in leca, just so it doesn't go into shock. The only thing I did was repot it in a bigger pot, but it's doing really well in leca as this new growth point that's coming out. They can like grow in different mediums, honestly. When I propagate, I grow them in water. I propagate them in water. I propagate them in leca. I propagate them in moss. So you can just really do a lot of experiments with philodendrons, and they kind of just do their own thing. Philodendrons are not pet friendly, but I realized that my cats don't really try to bite them. I think they know when a plant is poisonous, but I haven't had any problems with my cats trying to bite my philodendrons. A philodendron that I don't have but I want is the philodendron Paricio Verde, I think it's called. It means green paradise. And yeah, I just love the crazy variegation it has. It kind of looks like a virus, and it just has like these splotchy patterns of variegation on it. It's just really cool, and I know Corgi Jungle has one, and you know, he's about to give me a cutting, right? Now we're at the end of my philodendron tour. I hope it encouraged you guys to add some philodendrons into your collection. As you can see, they're super funky, they can be super cool, and just very easy to take care of. If you guys like this video, I'll give you guys a 10-second challenge. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. See you guys next week, and bye! And I would say it has the weirdest leaf shape too. It kind of reminds me of a deer's head, maybe? I don't know. Not a deer's head, I would say more like a sword. It reminds me of a sword.